actually, our temperature, our mash temperature originally was 150. Right now, we actually want to get this boiling, so we're attempting to get this boiling as we're sparging, which we don't want to rush too long because we actually have a time on our boil, a pre-planned time. That's when we add in all our hops, and actually our honey goes in at that point.
Patrick, there's a lot of things on this table. Can you help explain some of them and how they work in the brewing process?
Sure. Let's start over here. When we are measuring sugar, which we talked about before, this is the refractometer. We actually take a small sample of that wort and we'll put it right on this slide right here. All you do is close it up, and you can look through the eyepiece here, and the scale that shows you what the reading is located inside here. There's another way we do this as well. This is just for a small scale. We have the hydrometer here, which would actually take a full sample. You could fill up this whole thing here, and you take the hydrometer and spin it in there, and you have these readings, these markings right on the front, and that'll show you the amount of sugar that's listed in there. Over here, this is actually the yeast we'll be using. This is Allagash's house yeast. It's a Belgian-style yeast, which we brought over, so we can ferment it with that, which will be really nice. We also have
this looks like live and activated.
Oh yes. This was, I think, just taken off of a active fermenting tank yesterday, put into here, and then bottled up and brought over this morning. So it's ready to go.
So I see there's a couple different kinds of hops. Can you explain them to me?
Sure. Right here we have glacier hops. These are pellet hops actually that are located in this bag here. There are two different types of hops that we're using today. We have whole leaf hops and pellet hops. Pellet hops are pretty much what we use at Allagash. They're just easier to use. They're in this bag so that way when they get wet they don't disintegrate and cause a big mess. So these are glacier hops, which we'll be using right at the end. They kind of have a nice earthy herbal aroma to them. We also have right here in that bag is Citra whole leaf hops. This is a very nice hop. It's very, very fruity, kind of tropical fruit. It's really nice to use.
And it's airtight package. Is that oxidation will affect or change the flavor on that?
Yes, definitely. All the compounds in the hops are affected very badly by oxygen. Pretty much in the brewing process, after you're done using oxygen for your yeast to help the yeast reproduce, you don't want it anywhere near your beer. Oxygen is very bad for beer, and especially for hops too. It will reduce the flavors, it'll turn them into, there's a one off flavor, pretty much it'll taste like paper or cardboard. It's very gross.
Sounds
very
unpleasant.
Gross. Yeah.
What would you use Irish moss for?
Irish moss is actually kind of a clarifying agent. We actually put it in about 10 minutes left in the boil, just an ounce, and this will actually, any sort of proteins or particulate that is in the boil itself will start to settle out. And that's what we use this for. They have some other different versions of this. There's one called isinglass, which is actually seaweed, and it does the same job. It's pretty, I don't think a lot of people use it now, but this is pretty much a mainstay.
And what are all these gadgets and twisty things?
Right here we have, these are all tri-clamps.
Tri-clamps.
These mainly are used, you can see like on here, they keep all the valves together, keep the thermometer attached to it. We have one of the thermometers that we're not using right now, right there, so we just kind of go like that. And they have little gaskets that go on the side, just so it's all secure and nothing leaks.
And you see this big water container. Do you use purified water when making beer? Is that specific to the brewing process?
Not necessarily. For Allagash, we just use the normal city water, which works perfect for us. For brewing, usually you can just, if the water tastes fine, it's safe to drink, it's usually okay for brewing. There are a lot of different styles of beer that have specific water. So if you're trying to replicate a beer from England in that style, you can add different brewing salts to it. Today we actually added gypsum here. It's calcium carbonate. It's just because the water we were using is a little soft, so they want to add some carbonates to it, and this will actually help the beer become a little more assertive in flavor instead of just being a little bit. It won't be as kind of flat. That's the way I'm going to use it. So right now we are using this water. Just I guess I don't know if I actually don't know why we're using that water. Might have to
That's
edit.
okay.
But it seems to be working fine so far. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And then back here we have like this 3 system set up, and it's fancy
Yep.
electronics over here. Obviously, people, homebrewers wouldn't have this. Is this a monitoring system?
Yeah, this right here, just this controller right here is going to, when we have our mash in here, we need to keep a constant temperature for the whole 60 minutes or however long you're going to do your rest. And it has a recirculation, so it comes out the front here, and then will come back around that way. And there's a small heating element in there, and it's also a temperature probe, so that way the temperature will show up there. And it will actually tell you to turn on or off your burner based on the temperature, so you can keep a constant temperature. So it comes back in there, gets measured, heated up a tiny bit, but not enough, and then comes back out, and then through the top. So you're trying to maintain a constant temperature. Swings in temperature, not good for when you're actually mashing for this.
Well, all that work, I'm really excited to go and taste some beer. So next I'm going to go and try some Allagash. So what's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Aaron. I'm from Conway, New Hampshire, but I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I'm just here for a couple days to say hello to family.
Trying the Allagash.
Yes.
What did you just try?
The black, I believe, which was awesome.
You loved it.
Awesome. Yes, it was absolutely
Excellent.
wonderful.
Thumbs
Yep.
up for Allagash on the black.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what is your name? Where are you from?
Eric Barboza from Freedom, New Hampshire.
Freedom, New Hampshire. I grew up in Freedom. I love that place.
Oh, nice.
So you're out of the Good Beer Store today trying some Allagash. What kind did you just try?
I believe it was an interlude that we just tried.
An interlude. And what's your favorite Allagash beer?
I'd have to say the triple that we just had. That was really good. It was smooth, has a high alcohol content to it, and it's very enjoyable.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So you're at the Good Beer Store today. We're doing an Allagash tasting. What do you think so far?
It's fantastic. Allagash is amazing. They really are.
We already loved Allagash, so this is just confirming it.
Such
Trying different
great
flavors.
Maine beer. It's nice to
Yeah.
have good local beer. Do you guys
Yeah.
homebrew at all?
We do.
Excellent. What kind of
Yeah.
brews do you make?
Belgians,
Belgian.
if possible. Yeah, mostly Belgians. as
Excellent. Are
possible.
you able to get all of the ingredients for that, like right here, or do you go on the internet?
No, we don't go to the internet. And actually, we try to do local. We try to shop local.
That's
so
excellent.
absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Yep, absolutely.
Excellent. So much brewing going on nowadays. How did you guys get involved in it? How did you get started?
She gave me. Well, you got me going.
Did we get you going? I don't even remember
You
now.
gave me a class for this.
Oh, that's right. I got him the class. He took his first class here. I think it was like a Christmas present or something
Yeah.
like that. And he's been going ever since. It's hard. It's hard. The problem is trying to have enough beer supply before you run out. You know that you run out before you do the next batch. Because of course all the friends and everything want it as well. You know when you're brewing it, you know they want to taste it. And,
So what's your favorite one that you guys have made so far?
God.
Probably a copy of an Allagash, actually.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
just a hybrid, but a copy of an Allagash. It's a Belgian. It's a Belgian, a triple.
Excellent. I'm hearing that the best gift for a man is a beer class here at the Good Beer Store. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
So Josh, we've come to my favorite part, the tasting. Can you run me through a little bit of what we're trying today?
Absolutely. So a little bit of background on Allagash beer if you haven't had it yet. We started making beers in 1995. We do all Belgian style beers. So the big characteristic with Belgian beers is really the yeast character. So Belgian yeast give off a lot of esters, a lot of kind of tropical fruit, kind of citrus flavors. So we're trying 5 different beers today. There's the tasting profile goes across the board. So we're gonna start out with Allagash White. It's a Belgian style wit beer. A little bit of orange peel and coriander, just nice, easy drinking, crisp, citrusy kind of beer.
So would you serve this with a slice of fruit or something like that, or do you stay away from that?
We brewed the beer to drink it how it is intended, but I mean, if people want to add fruit to it, we are okay with that. But we put enough citrus in there; it's good to go as it is.
Try this one.
So.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's won the World Beer Cup 3 times in the Belgian wit beer category.
#1 seller.
And yeah, it's our flagship as well. So it's really easy to drink, great in the summertime, great all year, all year round, but just
really
nice and
refreshing.
easy. Very refreshing for sure, crisp.
So I've had the white. What's the next one?
So the next beer is Allagash Triple. It's a 9% golden ale. It has a little bit of tropical fruit flavor and a really nice dry finish.
9%. That's high for beer.
It is high for beer, but it's well hidden. It's nice because it's our most versatile beer with food. It pairs well with fresh fruit, seafood, Caesar salad, anything like that.
That one's yummy. All right, so what are we going on to next?
So the next beer is actually the same beer you just tried, but aged in bourbon barrels. So we call it Allagash Curio. It's 11%. It's got more of a bourbon character to it. It picks up a little bit of coconut and vanilla, and it pairs really well with anything barbecue or spicy.
Like a little island oasis in my mouth. It's delicious.
Absolutely.
All right, that's 3 down, 2 more to go.
For sure. So the next beer is Allagash Black. It's kind of the first dark beer that we're going to try today. It's 7.5%, Belgian style stout, so it's going to have roasted character, chocolate, coffee kind of flavor to it. And it goes great with anything like blue cheese, any kind of like blackened Cajun food, anything like that.
What makes it dark?
We put some dark roasted malt in there. So it's malt that actually gets roasted through a roasting process, and it gives it kind of the dark roasty color and flavor.
That's excellent. Okay, number 5.
Yeah, so the last beer we're going to try is called an American Wild Ale. So we actually inoculate this beer with wild bacteria. So we give it a little bit, it gives it almost a little bit of a biscuity sourdough flavor, and we actually age this beer in red wine Syrah barrels for about a year. So it picks up a little red wine character as well.
Excellent. Nothing like a little wine with your beer.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's yummy.
That is yummy.
Well, thank you so much for this
Yeah,
wonderful
well, thank you
tasting
for coming
and
out.
for
It's
coming
awesome.
to the. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, have a good one, Kendra.
So, what brings you to the Good Beer Store today?
Brewing beer.
Brewing beer. So, you're a beer enthusiast.
Yes.
Excellent. And what's your favorite one that we're trying today? I've had a few of them myself. They're quite delicious.
Out of today's lot, the Matina Rosa, the sours.
The sours. And what makes the sours different from, let's say, the white?
Usually it's a wild yeast inoculation. Most beer you inoculate with a very specific style of yeast. Sour yeasts come from in the air and everything, the same way wine is done. Wine is sour. So it's one of those few times that you actually allow beer to ferment naturally like wine would, and you get very sour tastes out of it.
Do you brew beer at home?
I do.
Excellent. So what's some of your favorites that you brew at home?
As Patrick and I were just trying, an IPA. Made some nice, really grapefruity hops.
Okay, so if you're drinking an IPA, let's just say I'm having a dinner party and I want to do a beer tasting, and I'm doing barbecue for the night. What are some options that I can pair with barbecue that will go really well?
I think actually the darker beers, Bavarian Box, and even some of the stouts or porters go with barbecue.
And spicy food?
Spicy food IPAs.
IPAs. And why is that?
The hops and the citrus component to that deal well with the heat and the spiciness of the food and cut through some of the fat that comes with that as well.
So I'm having really nice dessert, but I want a great beer for sipping. What avenue should I be looking down?
I would go with a really dark, heavy stout. Mikkeller Breakfast Beer Geek Weasel. That's a really good stout. You can also put a dollop of vanilla ice cream in that stout to have a true beer float. Really good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It was great to talk to you.
Likewise. Thank you.
What did you just try?
The Allagash White.
What did you think?
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
One of their pilot beers, and one of
Yeah.
their best selling. What did you think of the Allagash White?
Very good.
Excellent. So you guys had the Allagash White. What did you think?
Oh, it's a great beer. It's the only one I've actually had, so I'm kind of curious to try the others.
Excellent. I'll be back. See, we have food donated today from 302 West. What do we got?
They have some fish burgers, fish sliders, and then they have some smoked ribs.
Ooh, those look delicious.
And over here they have a bratwurst chowder. People have been raving about it all day.
I've seen a lot of empty bowls.
Yes.
Nothing can go better with beer than some food.
Exactly.
So what is your name? Where are you from?
Teresa, Freiburg.
Freiburg. And what do we have today from Campfire Grill?
We have a stew, beef barley stew, made with Allagash 4.
Excellent. So proof that you can cook with beer. Do you know of some other ideas and stuff for people that are looking to cook with beer? Have you seen it in anything else other than stew?
We have a dip over there, cheese dip, with it has, I don't know.
beer of some kind in there. So how would somebody that's maybe looking to learn how to brew beer, can we do that here at the store, at the Good Beer Store? Do you have classes or something that's offered?
Yes, we have brew classes, beginning classes, and then we also have everything you need to brew with.
Sounds like a really great Father's Day present or birthday gift for anybody.
Right.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, Anthony, I'd like to take a little trip around the world. And since I've
Okay.
heard you guys have beers from around the world, could you explain some of the ones that I'm seeing now?
Sure, absolutely. Well, we can start in the heart of where most of all brewing started hundreds of years ago, with Westmalle Brewing. It's one of the few Trappist breweries that's left in the world. And they really started the ball game for all brewing. And if we ever get a chance to get over there with the monks, take it up and soak
The
it
monks
all
make
in.
good beer.
The monks make good beer. They've been doing it for a long time. Then we moved down. This is a local New Hampshire white birch company.